Hey everybody, welcome back to Marauders Live HML on a glorious but sad Friday.
Very.
How are
I
we all
didn't sleep
doing?
last night. I didn't sleep last night
Oh really?
I've been
No.
sleeping all day.
because we're also it was late, but also because of the tragedy of
We're gonna
this episode.
start it off with this. Just because.
Masterpiece.
Look at it. It's gorgeous and
Hey,
That really is
nice.
Oh
it's
my
beautiful.
God. Ooh.
Look at
I'm always
that.
scared to touch
That
the wings.
sound.
I love the click. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love the click of a
It's
Lego
so
wing.
nostalgic. Yeah. It's just
So
like,
for everyone in here, last week it feels like it's been a month, but last week,
Seriously.
I shared this beautiful picture. So we obviously got the Lego, and
I don't know what. There you go.
Yeah.
there you go. What do you think?
Yes.
I
Did we do
didn't
it?
put the wings in the right direction.
shot for
What am I
shot.
doing?
Oh,
Did you guys even look at the
there.
reference?
Oh
No.
my god. And the hat. You didn't have a hat on. Oh my
This
god.
was at like 1 a.m. Okay.
this is a
Retake it.
mess.
Retake it.
Also,
Best part of the set.
There
Gonky.
he is.
He's a big
Gonky.
brain.
I just call him Gonk Droid on the label.
Gonk.
Oh, that's
There he is. So I guess this is your spoiler warning for season 1, episode 15,
Fancy, huh?
finale part 1, which was called Return to Camino, which is a huge spoiler in itself. So I can safely say Gonky is all right, but I actually don't know if he's all right.
well, yeah,
Right.
we're really
But we'll
not
get to
sure, are
that.
It was a return, but a devastation.
Hey, what's up, Jared? Thanks for tuning in, man.
Gonky.
we? Yeah.
We live for the Gonky.
Should we go like in
The big Gonky
chronological
stands here.
order of what happened, or
Right.
do we just want to jump
Let's
to the?
try our best.
Let's
We'll try
let's
our
not
best, yeah.
let's not just
So
Although we do that.
chronologically, Gonky survived.
chronologically, I'm sorry.
No, it's too
I
early
think,
for that.
Too
I
early,
think
too early.
Crosshair's
early.
plan makes sense in hindsight. I think last week I was like, well, this is he's kind of really cheating here by just taking Hunter, but he knows the Bad Batch better than I do apparently because he's like, they're all gonna come for you. Go on.
That
I
is
hope he
bait.
knows them better than. Well, we have spent time with them, but they are friends.
But they're
And
brothers.
it's funny because last week we were joking
We're friends.
around that
brothers.
like he sees Hunter and he's like, oh, you'll do, and we were joking around like, oh, maybe he wants the whole Bad Batch because he wants to join them, and it turns
Yeah.
out we were kind of right. We were a little. He
Kinda
wants,
Other
he
way
wants
around,
them to
kinda.
join him.
Yeah. Yeah.
As
right.
a, but
join me.
But, like,
I
leave-
think
leave-
Star
leave-
Wars
leave-
without
Leave-
joining
let me just
speak.
say he's not here, but I'm gonna call him out. He was like, "Oh, I knew that from the start. I called that."
I
I'm
saw
like,
that.
Oh my god.
You guys were like, yeah, sure.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
remember
yeah.
him saying that. Whatever. Anyways,
I don't really either. I mean, we all kind of were like, oh, what if? I think I remember.
we thought there was
mentioned-
definitely going to be something in Crosshair, like he was going to have some kind of redemption or something. We just didn't know the exact detail of it.
I remember.
Yeah.
This was honestly a lot more nuanced than I was expecting.
Mm.
Same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
Okay.
very,
Very
true.
gray.
we had a theory. I remember like, oh, what if they take the chip out and he's still like this? But we
Yeah.
didn't say like, oh, it's already been out. But I remember some of
Right.
us saying that.
So
When do you guys think that it got taken out?
I don't
That's a good
think
question.
it's actually
When he got
out.
when he
You
got
don't think
the-
it's
Oh, really?
out?
No.
You think? Why would he
Really?
lie?
I
Why
think
would
that
he-
the Empire is lying to Crosshair. So I think that if
Hmm.
anything, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna put
I like
you into
that.
this machine, and we're
Yeah.
gonna mess around with your head and take your chip out." But like, it shows that they're just fumbling around up there.
I'm open to
I
that,
think that
yeah.
the biggest piece of evidence is that first of all, the Empire would totally lie to him. First of all, second
yeah.
of all, they leave him
True.
behind.
Yeah.
But the third biggest thing is after they all fight together, which we're gonna have to talk about. He holds his head again.
Hmm.
Why is he holding his
Yeah,
head?
Does
Why
he?
is he
did
holding
do
his
that.
head again?
That's true.
And then like
Yeah.
Hunter
Yeah.
like checks his head, and like the chip marks are clearly like on the upper side, and Crosshair's
Right.
mark is like back here.
Yeah.
So
I mean, every
I don't
time
think it's
someone
out.
hold their head, it's like Wrecker because
Yeah.
of his chip, So
Yeah.
that would
Yeah,
make a
exactly.
little sense.
I would have
It
thought
makes a
if
lot more
any-
sense.
No, you go.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
Go ahead.
Okay. What was it? It makes a lot more sense that that the Empire would lie to him than they would listen to his request to take out a chip that keeps him compliant with their orders.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
It
you
never
know,
made
But
sense
then
to me.
again, you
Yeah.
kind of want, if he's like, go ahead, take the chip out. I'm super loyal, and then I think honestly it could
Yeah, I could just shoot him.
benefit them to be like, all right, we'll take the chip out, and then we'll kill you if you're not loyal. And then he turns
Right.
out to still be loyal, and it's like that kind of fervor for the Empire is important. It's kind of why the TK troopers are the way they are.
Well, then
right?
why did he
Miller.
do what he did in this episode if the chip wasn't taken out?
Because
What would be the motive?
I think he feels betrayed by the Bad Batch that
Definitely.
they left him
That's
behind.
that's how.
Yeah.
I kind of explained this on the stream last night, or how I saw it. But if his chip is out, it's like, you know, his brothers left him from his point of view, and then it's like he's always been a soldier. You know, I mean, they were always kind of off doing their own thing, but they were always with the Republic doing Republic missions. It's like, you know what? I'm a soldier. The Empire is the new army. I'm gonna join them, be with them, do their thing. That's where I fit in. And he kind of says that to Hunter and them. They're like, we're superior clones. This is what we're bred to do, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
Crosshair
also the
has never
superiority
experienced something
complex.
different. Oh, sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because like literally the batch has been out there doing something different this entire time, and so like they are trying to, at least, and that's why, because Crosshair didn't have a choice, and he didn't, because like he was forced into it. But the batch is pretty much being like, hey, you do, and you should leave. But it pretty much comes like full circle, because like they leave because he kind of forced their hand by attacking them up front. And then they never came back because they were protecting Omega. And then they were only forced to come back when one of them went missing. And so Crosshair took that personally. And I took that personally. He took that personally because he was one of them. And they forgot, but they never forgot. It just wasn't safe to do so.
Right.
And then it pretty much the moment lined up for them to actually bring him back and try to talk to him. And he was to a point too far gone where he wouldn't have gone himself. And so they had to forcibly take him, which is what they're going to do. But he's also going to learn that the Empire straight up betrayed him by that one trooper running in and be like, oh, he lost control. Everyone's dead.
Right.
We're leaving. And like that, I shouldn't have laughed, but like the trooper running in and seeing everyone dead and him fighting with them was just like,
We laughed at
It's
it
like
too.
the-
We're like,
it's like this,
troopers, like, what is happening?
The in Mando, the guy with the tray. It was kind of like that, I guess. Walking in on
Yeah,
an
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go.
It's
I'm just gonna
two stormtroopers in the hall, and now the Force Awakens just woo. Just,
we kind of have another theory that was right from us, I think, too, that Crosshair wasn't just missing the Bad Batch in these shots from before, by accident.
Yeah.
He's too good of a
Yeah.
shot. He was intentionally missing
Oh,
because he cares about them.
especially after that
For his
first
own
shot.
selfish
So-
gain as opposed to their gain.
Yeah.
But still,
Right.
like I said, this was a lot more nuanced than I was expecting in terms of like he's kind of like the Kylo Ren of it all. He's like, forget this.
Yeah.
Let's just join me. Let's go.
Yeah, it
do
was
our
literally
own
a
thing.
join me scene. Like
Well,
it was
But
like
Yeah,
it, wouldn't
right?
be, it wouldn't be Star Wars
Definitely.
if there was not a join me scene. There
Yeah.
always has to be a join me scene.
Right.
I just one of my sort
Always
of
a choice.
complaints with the show was like, you know, they don't talk about Crosshair enough, or there isn't enough of a connection to their brother. But I think this just did it, because Crosshair is the one that's like, I kind of want to be with you guys, but we got to work this out my way, you know? Like, this is how it's supposed to be. And you can tell he still cares for them. I mean, he would have killed them if he didn't, if he was
Right.
really that loyal to the Empire,
Yeah.
not his brothers.
Right.
I think my
Right.
favorite moment in the entire season is when they team up, and
Yeah.
you have the flare of the Bad Batch theme.
It
that
went
was-
probably my
hard. It
favorite
went
moment
hard
of
in
the
that
season.
scene.
Yeah.
That was like
Enter
that-
the Bad Batch.
That
It
made
had a
me
very
laugh.
like it had like the throne room in the Last Jedi scene specifically, because like
Ooh,
they're all
yes,
taking
they
out
team
all
up
these
like
different
that.
It did
enemies,
give that vibe,
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
unlikely
Yeah.
allies, and then the hey, come on, join me.
Yeah.
No, you join me.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, no, you join
us. No, join
And I
us.
think-
Shot with
and I
the,
think-
the reflective shot, that was sick.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
so
I love
neat.
that.
Oh my
I
god!
love
Whenever
how, like,
Tech
Tech's
looks
just, like,
over and sees
spacing
the
out,
mirror,
like looking at it, and then he hits Wrecker. Like Wrecker's gonna know what the hell's going
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
because he doesn't. And it's just like, oh, whatever. But I love that little detail, because it's literally at that moment Tech is like doing all the calculations in his head of what could happen. I have a lot to say about Tech, by the way, in general. But all the things that could be happening, and then it suddenly narrowed down to two. It's either he's going to use those mirrors to kill them, or he's going to use those mirrors to kill everyone else. So there was like, he's like, at that moment, he was probably like, oh, good, we're either going to die or not. But he at least had that confirmation. And that was just, I loved like seeing Crosshair finally get to use that again, because that is like one of my favorite scenes like of all the Clone Wars, is when he does the little mirrors in the hallway, and then everything, just the everything.
Yeah,
I forgot
Wow.
about that. That's
Just, yeah.
I really
Um,
liked the tube system in the beginning.
The
That was
tube,
great.
Yeah.
So
That was
I
a
have
beautiful
no
tube.
I have to ask up front, have we seen the tube system before?
I don't think
No.
I
so.
mean, the tube.
Okay.
Shoot. I've
Cool.
fallen so many
Awesome.
times off that map in Battlefront, and I've not seen a single one of those.
Dave.
It's just an
Very
endless
true.
void.
So like I loved like that. It gave me huge Jedi Fallen Order vibes when they go to the planet where the Inquisitorius is. I forget, but everything underwater.
It also reminded me of Manon in Knights of the Old Republic and an old LucasArts game called The Dig. It was an adventure game where you like crashed on an alien planet and had like this awesome underwater tunnels. I'm a sucker for underwater tunnels, man. That was great.
They're so cool, dude.
You can't go wrong.
Question.
You can't go wrong with them. They're so cool.
Millie brings up Omega Witness to create.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
He's the big.
Can we elaborate on that a
I'm
little?
so confused.
She's hiding something. There's something up with her.
There's something that needs to be revealed still.
So she doesn't have the accelerated. So at the end of the day,
because she's as old as Boba.
Right.
You gotta think about that.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, but the batch is like much older, so it's confusing.
Well, they've
Well,
aged.
yeah,
Are
because
they all the same age?
Has the accelerated growth.
Well, she was.
Yeah. So how
She's the
old
last
are
of
the
the first
clones?
gen.
Like technically, like 6 or 7.
Technically.
What do you mean?
Like 6 or 7.
accelerated
But they're
aging, so
supposed to be like in their like late 20s.
How long does it take to grow a clone?
I mean, I would guess. I
If they were
don't know. I don't know.
original-
Does anyone have that handbook?
Don't they?
I
in the
actually
last
do, not on me.
episode,
But I don't
They
Levi
were like
would.
connecting with like the
Is
original.
it on the back of the
clones,
packet?
Like the first batch, right?
Put it in the water, like one of those like, little like foamy
Yeah, there's
animals
those
that just
galaxy
like
monkeys.
expand. But yeah, that's
Am I muted?
the
Am I
biggest thing
muted?
is that Omega definitely was like a small child, like when they were born or whatever, which is like really, really weird to like think about. I like saw like a post earlier today that was just like, imagine if the next episode opens with a flashback of like Omega looking at the babies, and I would have been like, I would like lose it because it would be first of all like
wild.
the Omega and then baby all of the clones, and it'd be like
10 years to grow clones. Is that?
Yeah.
so. I mean,
I'll take
Did
it.
anybody hear my question? I
No.
asked a question.
Sorry
and
about
nobody
it.
answered
No.
it. Nobody, everybody ignored me. It was insane. It was like in the Twilight Zone. I asked
Revelation.
last week. They were like connecting with like the original batch of clones, like the first generation. So they're also first generation, right?
I don't know
probably.
if the Bad
I mean,
Batch
yeah,
is first gen.
I don't
Because
know. if
Omega was
they
the
are.
last of the first gen, wasn't she?
Right.
Isn't that the whole thing? She's
So then
Omega of the
they're-
last
They must
first
be,
gen.
right?
The second
She
one?
Omega
was
is-
wait. So, but she doesn't have accelerated aging. So she was the first of the unaccelerated aging. So
Well, where
Boba
does that
and
leave
her.
Boba? Yeah,
was just
Boba and
her
her.
and
Maybe they
Boba.
just made
Yeah, yeah.
two, an Alpha and Omega.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
They made
Right.
Boba. He was probably the first. Then they made
Yeah.
all
Right,
the other
Alpha.
clones in the
But
first
she-
batch.
But
and then
she
they made
wasn't
her.
accelerated. So that's why
No,
I
that's-
think if
what
anything,
Matt just said is
probably
what
older than all of the other clones.
Right. That's
what Matt just said is what I had inferred by her being Omega was that she was the last of the
Yeah.
first gen clones. So after they were done, they made one last one like her, and then moved on to Gen 2. And then from there on, at some point, then they made the Bad Batch because I don't think that they're first gen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she distinctly
Okay.
has memories of seeing them. So
I know,
Right.
which
Oh,
is,
she's,
which is
like, wild.
crazy because like this whole entire show, it's
She'd
like
have to
like
be
I feel like
5
that's
or
something
6.
she might would want to mention. I don't know, it's just weird.
Right.
It's weird. It just tells
I
us she
was-
has secrets, obviously. But I don't know.
I mean, she does seem to have some kind of secret. She just seems, for a lack of a better term, sus when they enter.
Yeah.
There
the-
is
the-
Yeah, I know.
the secret. You know,
I-
she like seems one sad to be there. Like I don't know. She just seems like she's hiding
Right.
something.
Like
You know, I'm-
she's whatever she's hiding is something that definitely like traumatized her, if anything, because like she wouldn't want to talk about it. There's no reason to talk about it. And so and I love how going back to she must have been at least like 5 or 6 because that's when she would actually remember it. Because I love how Wrecker literally says something like, "Oh wait, so we were in here," and Tech's literally like, "How am I supposed to know that? Why would I know that?" And he just like explodes on him like.
Yeah.
I
bet
know it
Omega
appears
has
that
more
I
Because
know
they would've
everything,
been
but I don't
babies and
actually know
boobs.
everything.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause there isn't a huge time chunk for the clones to be cloned and exist. There's only
Right.
like 12, 13 years.
Right.
So Omega is probably 12 or 13 because she's, the last of the original batch,
Right.
which means that they were probably only created like 6 years before Bad Batch, 7 years
Yeah,
before Bad
well,
Batch.
That's when like all the clones were made though. So
Well, no, the original clones, they were made all the way back.
12,
Mhm.
Yeah,
issues
because
ago.
they started cloning like as soon as Sifo-Dyas ordered them before, like right around the time of the Phantom Menace.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, my brain's
Yeah, they're
spinning.
Wild. I know the clone aging is not
It's
the.
It is,
confusing.
it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Jillian mentioned here.
Yeah.
Hey, you all right? I have here it is.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that side eye. Am I doing?
Oh,
Am I
yeah.
doing it right?
I love that.
Echo's
I
doing his best to be a dad.
like
because we don't see him
He tried.
interact with her too much.
No.
No,
No.
It's,
like-
nice, it's nice to kind of see him making an effort.
But there was
Yeah.
a few times like this episode though.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Surprising record and wasn't the one naturally like help her out more with Hunter not being there since he's like top dad
Yeah.
Right.
on the
Yeah.
totem pole.
Right.
It's interesting. Okay, so like one thing in general that like there's been like the conversation that Echo and Tech haven't like interacted with Omega as much in the entire season, and I was hoping that this episode and the next was going to be more of them without Hunter, but they tied it up very quickly of them getting Hunter back, which is I think that my
I know it's not great. I like kind of missed that when it happened, but
yeah,
I love it.
I love that.
That's so cute.
Gosh, I love that. He didn't
and
hug
Echo's
her
in the
back.
back like.
Can I have a hug?
How
But
does
like
one
I
hug?
feel like they really did tie it up too quickly of getting Hunter back.
Really?
And I wish that it was a little bit more separation, but I'm glad that they did get him
Same.
back all the
That
way.
happened with when Omega was taken too. It was like, oh, next week she's back right away.
Yeah.
I thought they would at least milk it out, for lack of a better term.
Let it simmer a little bit.
Yeah, let it simmer till the finale.
Stretch it
Yeah.
out. Literally any other word
Yeah.
but milk would have
Space.
Sorry, I
Probably
spent too much time on Octo lately. Sorry.
I'm dreading talking about this, but I just want to. It's like a shot. I just want to get rid of it. I just want
I know
to
what you're gonna
get
say.
it over with.
I don't know.
Let's do it.
The downfall of at least mine, and I assume some of your guys' favorite Star Wars planet.
Yeah.
Are we ready to talk about this yet?
I don't know. I'm still not.
There it
I'm still not
goes.
ready, but I just, I feel like
I've
I
always-
always get it over with.
I've always liked Camino enough, but I don't think I'd count it as my
So-
It's weird because it's all just it's
It's
like
an-
one
it's an-
building and then like
It's one of the best
No,
maps
as far as we know.
in every
One of the best
oh,
maps.
game.
Yeah, every video
And
game.
speaking-
Luke
Speaking of
Skywalker or Darth
maps-
Maul go crazy on that, man.
That's a big reason why I love it. But
Speaking of maps, I always remember or think back to the original Battlefront 2, where the clones do their rebellion on Camino and whatnot.
right.
And I was kind
We're
of
not getting that.
I kind of had my sights set on that, and I'm sad at Camino's destruction because we're not going to get that kind of
I have a
set
thought.
piece.
Are you sure?
Are they going to lift it from the ocean?
There wasn't
yeah,
there a
I
lot
never
of-
Levi
know
was
what it's
saying
going
that.
to look
Levi was
like.
saying that last night. I don't. How?
You
It's
never
like-
know what it's going to look like, though.
It's
I mean,
stink,
first,
dude.
like,
What do you mean?
think of the Death Star wreckage on the planet in Rise
Yep.
of Skywalker.
Yeah.
On Cuff Beer.
Wow.
Think of that. But that is obviously the Death
Yeah, I
Star, so it's a
remember
lot of wreckage. But an entire city like that of like countless buildings, it's potential that it could just be this big, like mass of metal just sunk into the ocean. I would love
Like
in like an
Atlantis.
in
Yeah.
apocalyptic Camino, like if that's where they end up doing the clone rebellion, it's like all right,
I'm 100%
showdown.
with you.
Back
I
I
where
still
we came
think that
from.
that's
I
where
feel like-
Moff
I
Gideon
still-
was headed.
on the
I
water.
feel like
Yeah,
it
man,
might
too.
happen. I feel like it could still happen. So like
I
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
write it off. Like I
They
know
made-
everyone's like, oh, clone rebellion on Camino, and it's just like it's not gonna happen. It's just like settle down. It
I don't
could
know.
happen.
They made
Anything
such
But
a
not on
big
Camino.
thing
I
about
know.
You don't
that.
They
know that.
made it a
Well, in
finale.
this
though.
episode,
They
made
made it
such
a
a big
finale.
thing about moving the clones
Yeah.
off of Camino just to
There's
bring
no one
them back
there.
to Camino so they could
I
fight.
think
No,
if
it's
anything,
definitely
it's
not
gonna
going to be
somewhere
on
else.
Camino.
It's definitely not going to be on.
There's
Camino.
going to
really
be a
good.
clone.
Yeah,
I think there's
it's
still
not.
going to be a clone rebellion.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
it's going
Yes.
to be Rex's guys.
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
going
Well,
to
what's
be.
up with
Whatever mysterious location they've moved everybody to that they still refuse to.
Yeah.
We will
like,
see that next
it's
week. I
closed.
would
Yeah.
be shocked if we didn't. So
I have
When
a
the season
non
first-
Bad Batch question. Speaking while we're on Camino, what's up with Dr. Pershing? Why does he
Exactly.
have?
We
he
were
has
talking
no
about that
hints-
last night.
Like where?
So-
Oh,
so
true.
where's he fit
It
in?
is
He's
interesting
working
because
with
in the
Nala
oh,
Se.
yeah, I watched this episode back, and
Yeah, I
Rampart
guess.
does specifically say like, "All right, we got the scientists. We still have the operation, the cloning operation."
Yeah.
So it's
And
like
that-
it's like probably just same. They start
it's
another
still, like,
one.
still,
maybe?
it can still have the patch. I mean, I don't know.
And there's
Right.
still that abandoned facility. God knows where that was. That
They probably
Omega
just
went to.
retained the patch just to have like that small like little reference to it.
Well, I think it's probably
The Imperial Art Designers gotta have fun
people,
once in a while.
people
You're
ran
right
with
about
that
that.
though. People
Yeah.
ran with that in season 2. I mean, like even I did.
We
And
ran
like
with it.
well,
yeah,
right.
the whole
that's
video,
where
but
that's where we thought the finale was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
for
I did
Raiders.
see- yeah, I
still
did
think
too.
that they were headed toward Camino. That Moff
Yeah.
Gideon was
You
on
know,
course to Camino.
He had his
Yeah,
I think
submarine
right
it's
ready.
meant to have this
The
simple
patch.
dot connection.
They just
Yeah.
they put the patch on to say like, look, this guy's a cloner.
I feel like if anything, for
Cloners.
saying, "Oh, this guy is a cloner," like that logo could signify
you know?
they were trained by the Kaminoans.
That's
And
what
I
I
feel like
mean,
that is
yeah.
like more of like it's like, "Oh, this is where I went to like college," or like I'm certified by the Kaminoans or something like that.
Speaking
so,
of
like, or
cloners,
it's just,
they
like,
have
that's the
the-
rank
That makes sense.
within
Program
that they're a
intact
scientist for
within
it.
the Empire, right?
Yeah.
Nala Se
Mhm.
is still with them. They have the operation. They specifically went out of their way to say
Right.
that. So
logos just
whatever
evolve.
cloning stuff is going to happen is probably going to continue in the Empire well after they destroy.
And
the
Star Wars is really
we
leaning
know
into
that
it right now.
yeah.
I feel like you can't find a project right now that doesn't mention some form of cloning, which
Right.
probably leads to
Unfortunately, once
you gotta validate all of it.
Once you open that
Exactly,
box,
right.
you can't close it.
Right.
You can't clone it.
You
Can't
can't.
clone it.
You can clone
a
it.
box.
Once you open the box,
Cloners.
there's like a million other clones of the box inside.
While we're quoting Dex, I just wanted to bring up the music from once again the
Yeah.
Kinder brothers do it every week. They bring in last week it was stuff from A New Hope. It's we've
What
done
if it's
That's why it hurt so much more.
the
just
music
They
was
brought
so
that
good.
theme.
As
When
soon
the
as they
la-
brought back
when the last
the
time we
theme,
heard that? I don't like Clone Wars.
literally
The last time we heard the Camino music
Yeah.
probably
in Rise of
episode 2.
Skywalker.
Well, we heard
When?
Oh,
Really?
no, we
interesting.
heard
Isn't that-
the Tatooine
Are you
music
sure?
in the Rise
Isn't
of
that
Skywalker.
wait,
I
guys?
don't
What's the
blame you because
background
I
song
own
on Kijimi?
That's
from-
the Tatooine stuff.
It's
when
also the
he's,
main
like,
menu song from
the
Revenge of the Sith video
Revenge of the
game.
Sith video game. But it's
It feels
I
good
Revenge
though.
of the Sith. Okay,
Jamie,
that's
I
what
don't
it was.
blame you. I always say it's the Camino music,
Me
but
too.
it's not.
Okay,
It's
so
the
that's
music
your
when
fault, not
Anakin
mine.
Yeah,
shows up to
that's on you, Matt.
Tatooine
Yeah.
and,
Yeah. Everybody blame
uh,
that. No. I'm kidding.
yeah.
Speaking of episode 2, I have a random deleted scene here from episode 2 if anyone wants to watch it.
Please. Is the
Yeah.
Camino?
Sir, I have 5 special commando units awaiting your order, sir.
The Polynesian star.
Are you all right?
Come on, try something new.
How about that?
That
Pretty
one
crazy,
really goes
right?
on.
Oh my
That one's not
god!
quick to the punch. It's a
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
the
We're
build-up.
all
Everyone's
like this
hands were
right
just
now.
like this
We're all done.
collectively.
right when you think it's over, it just keeps.
I'm cooked.
Adds on.
Thank you, AJ, for that.
We needed
That's
it.
good.
We needed it.
Oh,
I
you
have
know
an
what?
underrated
There could be
line
so
from this
many-
episode
Camino
What you got?
edits of that.
was
Yeah.
when it's like toward the beginning when Wrecker's like, I left Wrecker with Sid. She was not happy about it. I
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
laughed
Okay.
so hard. And I can just totally picture that interaction. And then I imagine next episode, if we see Sid and Gregor, they're going to be hitting it off. Like they're
We
just gonna,
better.
I can see
Yeah,
those
that'd be
two
great.
getting along. Yeah.
I totally missed that line. Like I knew they mentioned Gregor, but I didn't know what it was about, and so I was like, "Where's Gregor?" I was
They
like,
very
"Yeah."
quickly just
Where
like
is-
shuffled that away, like
Off the bat, yeah.
Also,
Uh,
Gonki was being such a good helper.
Yeah. Oh,
She
and
was being
we're
really
working
good.
with Gonki with like, the toolbox. I love how when Omega like reaches into the toolbox, Gonki like leans down like a little so that way she can grab it.
Yeah.
They're doing
The
that.
attention to detail in this show,
It's just
with everything is
so good.
superb.
Have we mentioned how good the show
Everything
looks? You mentioned.
Yeah,
Whoa,
right.
cuz
Maybe
looks
once.
amazing.
whoa,
Looks decent.
okay, we're gonna jump to that. So why
Oh, those
did they do
little
this at the
shots.
end?
Oh, this hurt.
Why
This was my
Why?
childhood.
This
This
is-
Because
Exactly.
this is
One
the
last
reason they
look.
did that is this thing.
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
I was
It's
just
like,
saying
this is your
no
last
the
time
entire
saying,
time.
saying goodbye to this place.
Right.
You got to
It's
soak
the end
it
of
in.
it's like, yeah, it's really just the end of where it started. You know, the
'Cause it
Clone
was so
Wars is
quiet.
like a fish. Not that it was still going, but it's like that is we are moving on now.
We're
where it
used to
started
seeing.
It's gone.
We're
I
used to
think that
seeing
was
these
the
shots with
finale.
everyone like bustling with all these clones going about
Yeah.
their business, doing their thing. We're not used to seeing these halls empty, and it's so stark and shocking when you see it that way.
Definitely,
Yeah,
it is very
and-
eerie.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Crosshair being like a limp noodle. Just
We got to talk about AZ eventually too. Jamie, do you
know.
have a
Easy
question?
lives.
Easy.
I have a question, or you have a question?
I thought you had a question. When I was showing these, you said why, but maybe you just said why.
Yeah,
did
why did why just why? I didn't like feel like the
This one
full
kills
theme
me.
of the
Like,
episode,
that one
like
hurt.
literally until like this like moment.
Same.
Which-
all the
which is, like,
fight right
fights.
there.
Oh my god!
It's a cinematography thing for me.
All the
Like-
suspicious.
Right,
yeah.
Think of in this case, think of Echo. Echo became an ARC trooper because him and Fives defended Camino, and then he's there when Camino straight up gets destroyed.
Yeah.
Like that is the biggest everything punch in the gut of just everything because it's gone.
Where's
And
99?
He's
He
dead.
died.
He's been dead a while.
99 is
What do you mean, where's
gone.
99?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did they
shot.
bury him on Camino? Did they
Oh,
put
I
him
see.
somewhere?
Oh.
Where's
I
his
mean-
They
body?
just toss him in the water.
Cinder,
Why didn't they
block,
just toss him
Burial
in
at
the
sea.
water?
Honestly,
bag and a couple.
Burial at
cinder
sea. That's
That's a good
do
question.
the
I guess.
Navy.
I don't know.
Probably.
That's, yeah, where's the clone
Burial at sea.
I don't
cemetery?
think they do that.
I
I don't
wanna-
think they do that anymore.
That
Where's the
Echo.
clone
I wonder
cemetery?
why he didn't put the handprint back on his.
We
his new
still have
suit.
one episode. And I'm hoping that he at least gets the handprint. I don't think he's gonna get the hand.
Oh my god! And the Hot Toys figure still it has all these
It's gonna be-
Inspector Gadget arms. Where are
Right.
they?
It's like,
I like
are
Brent's
they?
thing here. Oh, there's only one flying in. Ooh.
This is why I
I
don't
got-
trust toys.
I got
I
big
know.
Titanic vibes from
Insane,
Brent's
Yeah.
thing here.
with everything just like sinking.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm
Probably,
worried.
honestly, probably.
I'm worried for the silly ship for the Marauder because it's there.
Oh, tell
right?
them the story. So
And so the story is
not much to story,
last year when The Mandalorian season 2 came out, AJ got me the Razor Crest Lego for my birthday. That was maybe like a couple weeks before the Razor Crest blew up.
it was like a week
Oh,
before.
you want to talk about
So-
real pain?
So
from
I'm
the
worried that
Razor Crest.
Since
Hold
I got
on,
the Marauder,
Jamie,
that
hold on a
it's
second. I pre-ordered the Hasbro Pulse
Ooh,
the Vintage Collection Razor Crest,
Good point.
the Hasbro Pulse project. Pre-ordered that days before the episode came out that it got blown up. Dylan can confess.
We have a video about it. I just
It
put it in the
was-
private chat. if
hey,
you
Sad.
nobody's ever
later.
really gone.
That got spoiled for me
Sad.
so quick.
It
I saw an explosion on a landscape.
that thing
and
is
I'm like,
expensive.
oh,
That thing
no.
is very expensive. So
very sad.
yeah,
Yeah, if the
I just
Marauder
hope it
blows up,
doesn't
I'll be very
happen.
sad.
I don't
That's
think the
their
Marauder
home.
will blow up.
I don't think it will either.
They're gonna have to figure out how to get back there though, because everything's like blown up in between them. So they have to get from here to there.
They
but
could
they
squeeze
can't
down
get
the
there
tube.
from
They'll
here.
surf.
Maybe.
I
Hey,
feel like- I feel like
AZ
that
will
research
prove
AZ
that he
will
can
just
fly
tell
over
him.
the water. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because he did that with fives.
They're gonna surf, guys.
It's true.
I'm calling it
They
right
could.
now. There's gonna be a scene. They're gonna surf on the waves. It's gonna happen.
Gonki's gonna swim over.
Yeah.
They're all gonna hop
Guys
on
never
him and go
surfed
back.
before.
Oh god.
Dude, Gonki swims.
surfing.
Gonki swims. I can imagine.
He's gonna have
While-
That's my
while
job
I'm
right
That's
wondering-
part of their mutation. Is their
or
master
like a
surfers.
flotation device, maybe.
I was worried they left the Marauder open. They like
Well-
the waves are crashing around. Gonki's gonna get wet and electrocuted. Like Jesus, guys.
Again.
That's gonna get so much salt in the joints. It's not good for it long
Ugh.
term.
It's really
You
not
have to
good
get
for
that
it.
Do we
watched out.
see Rex next week? They
I
mentioned him
think
this
so.
week.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Oh, call Rex. I was
Rex in
hoping
the
for the call.
gang.
There's no way that they showed him again on the hologram teasing.
Oh,
like
wait a
him
minute,
with their
guys.
parents, Just not gonna.
Let's
I
use our
just
mind. Let's
said
use.
it.
Oh, I missed
I already
it.
said that.
They have a jet ski. It's
Yeah,
easy.
What do you mean?
can tow them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I spaced
Yeah,
out.
no,
Is it your
remember,
brother?
remember the
That's not a jet ski.
the
it's not
fives
a-
arc?
we call it.
Right,
Right.
of
That's what
course.
he-
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least
That's
everyone.
like that
said
thing that Navy
about 2
SEAls
minutes
used to scuba.
right.
Well, let's talk about
right.
AZ. AZ's
Yeah.
not dead. We thought he might have been.
Still
But I,
committed
Dina
to that
Fish
was always
Bad Batch
hoping-
number?
I
I was
called
always
it.
hoping that he would be like their other droid. I know Matt gets mad when I say he'll be their droid because they have Gonki, but I think he
one
either
that can actually add to the conversation.
AZ either dies next week or he's their
Gonk.
droid for the rest of the show.
Yeah, he's
No in
he's-
between.
I think he's a bad batcher.
He's the last remaining
Yeah.
thing of
I think him and Gonki could get along.
the
Definitely.
facility.
I mean, like if you think about it in a sense, like AZ is like a little defective himself as well, because he'll always like help out anyone who's like willing to
Right.
like do something
That is funny.
questionable.
Questionable.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
like Fives figuring out the entire conspiracy, and then anything that Omega is doing, just like wandering around. So
Yep.
Right.
he's ride or die.
Nice.
Like, AZ would be
Qualifications
fun.
for
I would-
joining Clone Force 99 is
You gotta be
widening.
questionable.
Yeah.
Do you have some
But it-
problems?
Yeah. Are you?
You're in.
But what the heck's gonna? When Jack came in, he was the first one into the studio earlier, and we were just like, what's gonna happen now? Like, the villain was pretty much kind of Crosshair, I guess, and Rampart, even though he's kind of a dink. But
He is such a dink.
like,
I
I'm
what's
so
gonna happen
disappointed
now?
in
Like,
Rampart.
they have Crosshair, so is the Empire gonna look for them? They think. I mean, they're gonna get off Camino. Let's be real.
I
Okay,
think
yeah,
they're gonna.
so
No, they're gonna. The entirety of season 2 is gonna be them stuck on Camino.
stuck on the
Yeah.
water. It
Stuck
becomes
on the
Water
water.
World.
Yeah.
I guess
so
my. Oh no, you
go
go.
ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
I guess my prediction would be that wherever they're sending all the clones and whatnot is wherever Rex is. And they're going to try to meet up with Rex, and that's probably going to be the
Ooh.
finale. Is the Empire shows up wherever Rex is, having had built a small
Okay.
clone army or something,
Right.
and it's going to kind of be like the beginning of the Clone Rebellion, because I think that's going to be the majority of season 2 is going to be taken up by.
and then we'll be left on a cliffhanger with that.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Do you guys think how far with the Crosshair redemption do we go? Do we
I-
think he's back
I'm all
on the
the way.
batch, or do we think he's
Yeah.
like gonna fully be
You think he's
like,
fully back
you
in
know.
the badge?
I think
I think they need to
it'll
bully
take-
him a little more.
It'll
yeah.
take a while for him to be fully back on the batch, but I think that he's not going back to the Empire because if anything, he has to learn to re-trust Hunter, and Hunter has to learn to
Right.
re-trust him. Once the two of them can work out their problems, everyone else will just follow.
Right.
But
And maybe if he
it's
really
down to
does
that.
have a chip, like you think he does still have it, they just take it
Yes,
out and they're
I do.
Do you
Figured his
think he has
goals
some
up.
kind of sacrifice though,
I
or
don't
do you
Probably.
think it's just he? Yeah, probably.
Even
Yeah.
if he doesn't have a chip, the whole point is like, you know, where the downfall of the Empire is that there is no loyalty, or loyalty is not rewarded like at all. So even
Yeah.
if he was loyal to the Empire, they just left him behind now. So
right.
there's no,
Right.
you know, there's nothing for him left except the people who just saved him from the Empire, leaving him behind.
It,
Right,
it goes back
so-
to I believe Anakin
like
says in
Callus,
season 7, he
kind of.
says to Ahsoka, loyalty means everything to the clones, and that is like literally their thing. So and the Empire
Yeah.
doesn't care.
They got to
So-
dig
Think
around
about
in
like
that
Agent
cupboard.
Callus
No.
when he
Yeah.
and
Coming back
And,
with his moon
Zebra.
rock and being sad, and
Oh my
everyone
God,
like
that-
no one cares, and he's just
everyone's like, "Shut up,
"Oh,
nerd."
No.
That scene, yeah, he's like,
I'm
he's
gonna
like,
defect.
Oh
Yeah.
no! How come there's a Rampart figure, but we don't have a Callus figure?
Like,
Is a
right-
Rampart
good
figure?
point.
Yeah.
Of course.
Walmart
Little
You bring it up
exclusive.
like every week.
Levi mentions it every week because there's
Yeah,
a Star
Walmart-
Destroyer on it.
Star Destroyer. I'm
Yeah.
still waiting
Oh,
for
you're
it.
right.
Yeah.
I think we're
That's
gonna see that
figure.
next week. We're gonna see that
I'm
next
loving
week.
the grayed out Venators
Who cares
though.
about
They are cool.
Rampart?
Same, they're
Yeah,
cool.
that was cool. That was really cool.
I don't care enough about Rampart
like
to like even
Rampart.
like have any sort of
Yeah.
like for
Oh
it.
no,
And I've been, like, defending
I
him.
pre-ordered them, but then I canceled it. I was like, I'm good.
Like
I've
He's
been
like,
defending him
I mean,
all
he does
season.
his
I'm like,
job
he's-
as the character, but
I can't
He-
wait to see him come into his
he's
own,
just
and he's going to
flat.
finally be cool.
He
Like,
is
he's
flat.
being
so
lame.
flat as a character.
And it's like today,
Oh,
this
I
episode
agree.
like solidified it. Like he showed up on screen, and I was like, "Boo!" Like
Yeah,
I
I-
don't care.
my notes literally just say Rampart sucks.
Yeah, dude.
And that's it.
He's a
You're not
big
wrong.
stink man. I don't care.
Rampart sucks.
Uh,
Yeah, he
no,
could just
they-
be
they
any
just-
like Imperial.
Lily,
officer
we
if
just
you
saw
like.
the
They just
Venators that were
The
grayed out.
Yeah, the gray Venator.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
for a
the
second I was like,
repainted
oh wait,
Venators.
is that Star Destroyer? But no,
Which
I
the
think we're gonna
cabinet-
see it next week.
Yeah,
Which
three
I can
Venators,
pull
Searching
the
Hunter.
picture.
An interesting sort of
I
like
feel like they would've used him for this.
conversation
Yeah,
they
they are.
had was
Oh.
A little dark.
why are there only 3
Ooh.
Venators? And then
Right.
it's
So
like,
I
Yeah.
who cares? It's just
So
like
beautiful.
so we'll see
because
what's going on with that.
yeah,
Well, to go
so
to
I-
Brent's thing here, they are you? Do you mean like compared to what we saw last week, or because we know they took a lot of the fleet and the
I like
the
that. I
manpower
like
out,
the
yeah.
idea that they're not going to one singular spot. They're going to just
Yeah.
like multiple different locations, and they're not
Spread
just
out,
like
yeah.
putting everyone in the same place.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Kevin's comment. Are they gonna be keeping Crosshair? He can't just be Roman.
He has a
Reigns?
bed.
That's a good question. I mean, they only have like the bunks like on the wall, so they're he's
Right.
gonna
All
be
this
there.
stuff, though.
He's
They're
gonna
gonna
be
have to duct
restrained,
tape him
and
to
they're
the
all just gonna be like,
Marauders gunner seat.
Yeah.
I think
gonna
they
duct
still
tape
have the
him to the
stuff
back,
unless
too.
they like
"Uh,
jettisoned it, got rid of it.
I hope Gonki gives Crosshair like a mean stink eye when he walks on the ship.
They'll have Gonky sit on him. That'll be
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
give
That'll
him a
do the
mean
trick.
eye and gonk.
Yeah.
He can, like,
friend.
He can like kick him in the shin. I don't know.
yeah.
Bonk.
Step on his feet.
Oh gosh, what were we talking about right
Oh.
before that?
Remember when we said we were going to go in chronological order for this
We
episode?
kind of
and then we
Never-
immediately
yeah.
jumped to
I
the
think-
end. Oh, we did it.
No,
we
no. I
did
think,
decent.
Someone
we
said
hit, like the
Crosshair.
big plot
Yeah,
points.
it
We
got
can go.
quick.
I got here.
Also, I forgot to share these.
Mm.
Dude, this
I guess.
this really is a good showcase of how beautiful this show is.
Yeah.
And, you know, I
Yeah.
mentioned it
You know,
earlier. and
Like,
it's-
look at like the
looks
scar in
so
the
good.
back, and just yeah.
But look at the
It's just
lack of inhibitor chip scar.
This episode
Yeah,
felt
seriously.
a lot like the first one tonally, I think. Like,
Yeah.
not that I think the Bad Batch has been a great first season, but I can understand some people's complaints where it's like, it feels a little lighthearted at times. But this was very dark and very gloomy.
All of
So
Star
is
Wars
the
is
Clone Wars.
lighthearted at like yeah.
Right. No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They
Yeah.
do a good job of
I understand
making
what you
them like a fun adventure while still hitting really really rough topics.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that line delivery between Hunter and Crosshair. I think you had the screen cap of it. Like I didn't have a choice, and Crosshair's just like, and you think I did? Like,
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Love it.
And like that sticks with Hunter. You can just see it on his face. He's like, you know what? You're kind of right. Sort of. You also
Yeah.
tried to kill me. So
Yeah, I
He
know.
tried to kill me. What was I gonna say?
We were on like some topic before this, and then
I had a really good thought, and then
was it
we got
before AZ.
distracted.
Was it about AZ?
Was it talking about the Venators?
I think it was about the Venators somehow. Oh, no, it wasn't.
Was it about jet skiing?
I think we finished that point. The
Go back
Venator
to jet
point.
skiing.
Mobius?
There was a
Wow.
Wow. Sorry.
Some Vector Delta. Heal up.
I could have used that one last week, but I just
There's
found
too many of those. There needs to be one like with like the Camino being bombed, and then
This
like
is getting out of
like
hand.
he's just
Him in
there's
the
just one
water.
clone still
Does
just
anyone want
chilling
to see
in the
what
water.
Cody's up to these days?
Yeah,
Hold
sure.
up.
Show me.
Execute Order 66. Yes, my lord.
The Polynesian
Hello there.
star.
Okay.
That wasn't even clever.
I know. Why didn't Obi-Wan is just there.
Oh man.
Too funny.
But yeah, there'll be more of those next week probably from
Dear God.
what happened this week.
Oh, no,
okay.
there's that. I'm surprised. Yeah.
There we go.
Picture AJ hunched over on his computer at 3 a.m. with a light on his face, Cheetos next to him, just downloading each video.
Okay.
Not
so
totally wrong.
Thoughts.
What was that? Oh, the keyboard.
Yeah, I was like, well, it sounded like water, but like wasn't.
What do you
Okay,
What do you got, Jamie?
so what do I got? I want to talk about how Tech is on the verge of a mental breakdown, and let me explain why.
Go for it.
He keeps getting things wrong, like a lot, like really
Yeah.
bad. And for him, that's like a catastrophic because like if we like scroll back one episode at least, he's wrong by punching in the wrong codes on the base and causes the entire lockdown. And then he also like going into it in the first place, he's just like, this isn't even like on like the Imperial like, or this isn't on any records that there should be a base here. So like, I don't like it. And like, he's just like not confident. So his confidence is like down and he's just like, well, this isn't good. And then in this episode, like he literally gets so much wrong. Like it's kind of freaking me out how
Their
much
plan
he's getting
was
things
pretty
wrong.
dumb.
Like
It was.
it's everything from like doubting Omega because of like the coordinates that she gives him, and he doesn't necessarily want to trust her about it. I think that it goes back to the fact that Tech relies a lot on Hunter for like making the decisions, and Tech doesn't make the decisions himself. So it was more of like Omega decided what was like good and told them they should do this, and then they all had to be like, all right, yeah, we should do this. And like Tech didn't have Hunter to turn to like pretty much decide for him. And so he's just like so doubtful that this is even like the correct move. And I love like the little like quip like as well of them like getting closer and closer to the water. And she's like, no, you need to like keep like getting closer. And he's like, if we go any lower, we're gonna be in the water, which reminded me a lot of Han flying really low in The Force Awakens. If we go any higher, they're gonna see us. And so it was I thought that was like fun. But then like moving on, like he Tech like snaps back at Wrecker saying, how could I possibly know that when like they were all supposed to like be in that lab as like babies, because like obviously he wouldn't know that because babies. And then being in the tube system and talking about how it's not in the schematics, and he's just like so thrown by not having that information and like at his fingertips, and he's just like going in blind. I don't like this. And the last one, the biggest one, is choosing the unconventional way to enter the training room was his biggest mistake, because he chooses that because he's like, oh, Crosshair will be expecting this, but he is being a big dummy and forgot that Crosshair knows how he thinks.
Right. Well, they did that too when on Braca. They've gotten pants and outsmarted by Crosshair twice now.
Right.
So
That's a good point, Jamie. Though I hadn't
Share
even
one brain
thought
cell.
about that.
Like,
Yeah,
his smarts were in the chip.
yeah.
Now he doesn't have it anymore.
Sad.
Yeah,
God.
there's something you put on your story, I think, Jamie.
Yeah.
The other about last week's episode, which I thought was really interesting,
Yes.
which might sort of relate when it was Tech, like he hesitates, like for the first time ever when Hunter's like, leave, get out of here.
Right. Yeah. So that's before they make the jump, and so you see for like a split second that he does hesitate before like actually like leaving, because he doesn't want to leave Hunter behind, but every logical bone in his body knows that he needs to in order for Hunter to survive for everyone else, because Hunter knows what he's doing. And so he trusts Hunter's decision making, but he doesn't really trust his own decision making, which is the takeaway from that, I guess.
Right. Yeah. I would like to see a well, I shouldn't say I'd like to see a Tech breakdown, but for the sake
would
of
love to see a
story
Tech
and
breakdown.
plot, that
I'd
would
like
be
to see some more Tech
right.
just like doing stuff that isn't just like, oh, You know,
Right.
my
Because that's another.
calculations, this
I've
and
seen a
that,
lot of
you know.
people when just criticisms to the Bad Batch is like there's not very subtly there's a lot of characterization to the Bad Batch, but I mean it's 5-6 characters that you have to try to flesh out. Like it's not easy, and so like that could be a bit. Tech is like probably especially the one with probably the least characterization, I think, other than
Yeah.
his archetype, which is the smart tech guy. So
Yep.
that could be pretty cool.
Yeah, because like it's argued that like Taki and Echo haven't gotten the most characterization, but like we do have Echo's full past as well.
Exactly.
And so
Right.
like, he
Yeah.
does have like a little bit, even though things are different now, and he's just moody now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we can't do much about it. I love how in this episode as well, to switch to Echo, he was like kind of officially like leading them around the base, which I thought was really fun to like see him like escorting them around. Even though Tech was tracking the signal, Echo was pretty much leading them around, which was
I had
good to see.
flashbacks of Echo and Fives like walking on the bridge, or the whatever that is, the hallway. Let's just take in the shots again.
Oh.
It's so sad.
Please
It
stop.
hurt, like I feel it in my
Please.
core.
It's just
when I
missing
see
like
it.
a tumbleweed going by.
I know.
One thing that I
Oh.
thought was interesting was,
Literally.
well, I guess
those
they haven't like
rolls.
completely phased out clones because there's still clones on the deck when Rampart's on the Venator. And
Right.
love getting to hear Tarkin say, "You may fire whenever."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I
That
know.
catchphrase. Just can't stop saying it.
Yeah,
Classic.
and you can just like
Classic.
feel it happen before it even happens. Like the build
Yeah.
up to that without them even explicitly saying what's going on is so
yeah.
just
You knew
genius.
that it was going under. You knew
Something
right.
that I noticed, I don't know if you guys did, but regarding the clone officer on the deck, I miss Fives. Like everybody,
Everyone misses
Yeah.
Fives. Yeah.
I miss
Poor
Fives.
guy.
Poor guy. Yeah. The clone officer that's on the deck for Rampart's ship, that was just like really, really surprising to see in the first place. But if you look closely, the logo on his sleeve, it's the open fleet symbol, which was on Obi-Wan and Anakin's cruisers.
Oh, wow.
So he was one of like their officers.
Yeah.
Like the
Interesting.
212th, like Cody. Like maybe he's gonna show up at the next episode and he's gonna
Oh,
be
Cody, you
Imperial.
say? No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Yeah. Not again.
not
So-
again.
I know everyone. We've been clamoring to see Cody post Order 66, and it hasn't happened yet. And maybe that's a season 2 thing, or
I think it'll happen soon.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
set
just
a bar, and he's like, "Everyone's asking if I'm back."
I'm thinking about that. I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
that
even
would be a great setup.
I'm back.
in Rebels, people were always asking for Cody, and they had plans for Cody in Rebels, and so I mean, Cody, like I could see him as a Kenobi thing if that's when they really want to reveal him, but I feel like Bad Batch
Yeah.
makes
Yeah,
probably
but guys,
Kenobi
it might be
v.
hard to
Cody.
get Tem back. You know.
I think why not both?
I don't know.
Yeah, why not both? I feel like this would be like a
That's
perfect
the book of
like,
Boba.
mini introduction of like, hey, this is what he's been doing, and then that would be awesome if he like somehow showed up in Kenobi. Like, I would probably pass out like immediately.
Yeah.
Sitting-
Yeah.
You
sitting
and me
at the
both.
Polynesian
Amazing.
spa, and he gets a call like, "We need you back." It's just like,
Yeah.
I just finished
Obi-Wan used.
filming Book of Boba.
seems to be no
Bubba.
no loose ends on the clone situation.
Right. So at least for
They're sort
the
of loose.
Camino
Well,
end of it. Well,
right,
the loose
yeah.
ends are they still have like most of the clones like alive, like elsewhere.
Yeah.
But they destroyed the entire facility, which is huge. And this was Rampart's plan the entire time, and it's just kind of like stupid because like I hate Empire plans. I just gotta be upfront with that. I hate it because
What do you mean?
people they have so many like layers that they don't tell anyone, and they're like, oh ho ho, I'm gonna do this evil
Oh,
thing,
ho,
and
ho.
you're gonna know
Yeah.
exactly what I'm
You're
doing, but I'm not
Santa
gonna
Claus.
tell you what it is. And then,
Yeah.
and then they just execute it, and it's just like that was it. Okay.
He was pretty on the nose about it when he was like hinting at it. Maybe it was like because I was watching it the second time, but it seems a lot clearer. It was like, well, I mean, like if his plan fails, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
And like once you know what happens, like and you confirm, like, oh yeah, no, they blew it up. It's like, oh yeah, well, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. And he was, if you even had a hint of what was going on, like as far as like being a grunt on the ground, you're gonna be like, all right, I hope I'm not on here with us.
Yeah.
I think that based on everything that happens at the end of the episode is Rampart's gonna think that they're all dead because like
Yeah.
Mm,
Why
yeah,
wouldn't
that'll-
you? That's the logical.
That would
thought
be the
process, I
assumption.
feel like.
I don't think he could see them like from his Star Destroyer with like
Yeah.
thermal
no.
binoculars. Oh, they're there.
You think
Yeah,
that's
that
the
was-
last
that was
time we
good,
see
yeah.
Rampart? this
No.
season then?
Unfortunately, no.
Um,
You're still gonna
In the
see him in
last-
that Star Destroyer.
I don't know. I'm just so thrown. Yeah, I'm just so thrown of what could happen next week. Like,
Well, it's
we
gonna
know-
be obviously them escaping Camino. Then I do think there's gonna
Yeah.
be something with Rex, and I feel like we're gonna get a tease at Boba. I feel like they'll explain a little bit more of what Omega's deal is in their relationship to the Batch, like obviously when they were being born and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be
Yeah.
the gist of it.
I feel like we're not going to get. Watch me eat my words next week. We're not going to get as like gut wrenching of a season finale as
Yeah,
this was.
This
'Cause I feel like
episode,
this
yeah.
was like the heavy part of it of
For
the
sure.
whole destruction of
this
Camino.
could have been the finale, and we could've just left it on that.
where is
I would
Hauser?
Yeah.
That would have been
On
insane.
Ryloth.
somewhere in prison. I would hope.
Mm.
He's on Camino. We gotta get him out.
God, no.
Yeah.
No, there's no one there.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
he's just joshing. He's
I'm
just
just
Hauser
jogging
in.
around, guys.
I'm very sorry to do this, but I do have to pop out. So
Oh, is this my
No, that's
cue?
okay.
yeah.
AJ,
Goodbye.
you wanna flash that picture of the
Do you want
uh,
to take us out with
the
a?
Knights of Ren Kylo reunion?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah.
created.
Wait, show this. Show this.
What?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
There
I
it
love
is.
that
I,
so
I
much.
thought I uploaded the other picture of all of us, but I
Oh,
don't see
gosh.
it here, so I guess I
Yeah,
failed.
yeah.
But there's this.
I know. I
ad.
still haven't seen that picture. I see it.
So this
So-
was an actual picture,
That's real.
of
This
the
is
three
real
of them.
people. Yes. Yeah.
but
Honestly,
But
edited
obviously,
in the background.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's
I love
either me bringing you guys before Snoke or something, or it's you guys can be the Knights of Ren.
we're just way too happy about it.
I know.
He was a little bit too
Yeah.
pleased either way. I think
Or it's like
That's
you guys have like
hilarious.
fake smiles, like, man, this guy looks like crap. Like,
Yeah, you guys,
this guy a
you're the
clone.
two newest recruits.
This
to
is
the
what we
Knights of
signed
Ren,
up for.
Ready for initiation.
Yeah.
Too funny.
But that was
Happy
yeah, that was good
Ren.
times.
yeah.
Met you guys in person.
Was.
Yes.
I
Oh
wish
god,
we could have
that's
stayed
that's
longer.
good.
It's too good. Too good. But
That's
we will
good.
talk soon. And thank
Are you guys going to have
chat.
pizza?
You guys are great.
That's right. Johnny is the new Matt.
Johnny's the new
Ha,
Matt.
ha.
Oh, because I'm leaving.
Because
Yeah.
you're heading out
Ooh.
early. That's
Yeah.
usually my
You guys
thing.
are both heading out, right? Dylan and Johnny? Or
That's what
Dylan?
we're doing, right?
Up to you.
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Not
All right.
up
Bye,
to
guys.
me. I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
now it's
I
up to
gotta
you,
go.
All right.
For
Sorry.
you to
Sorry.
decide.
Thank
Goodbye,
you guys. Bye,
See you guys. Thanks for coming by.
Have fun. Bye.
Enjoy.
Oh no.
All right, now that those jokers are gone,
Yeah, Snoke just found them. So.
Um, AJ, can I share the video that like made me cry like this week of laughter?
I guess since it took so much work.
It did take a lot of work. Okay.
I gotta see this.
I'm gonna share the video, and then immediately after is what it's referencing, just so that way everyone has the full context. Okay.
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 All right.
Here we go.
I'm ready.
Hi, my name is Hunter. And my name is Tech.
I'm Wrecker.
Crosshair. And I'm Echo to you.
Hi, my name's Katrina. And my name is Hugh. I'm Sarah. I'm Emma. And I'm Joe to you.
I know that.
I
I've
did
seen that
not
before.
want to see the kids. The kids are
I
what
had
took me.
to share the full thing though. Okay.
Oh,
because
those faces they make. Oh my
that's
lord.
half the
That's some
joke.
forced
Okay?
80s content.
Holy
this-
crap.
Is this Leviathan or is this the boys who
Woo,
just
I'm
left?
sorry.
Ooh.
I had to share that.
So, yeah,
I
I
love
woke
that
up-
Omega's in the background. She literally fires and she's like, "Sorry."
I
know.
heard that, yeah.
I woke up in the middle, like in the morning, and I was like, after like checking my email, like I just surfed on Reddit. I was like one of the first things that I saw, and I'm like, oh, what the hell is this?
Yeah, Jack shares that video and then he tags us, and I was dying over it like the entire day. And then AJ's just like, "This isn't funny," and I'm like, "Obviously, you."
No,
don't
I
find
didn't
it
say
funny."
anything.
Yeah, you
Jamie's
didn't say
lying. I
anything.
didn't say anything. I told her it wasn't funny as we were getting ready to do this, I think.
Anyway, so that is a Unreal Engine 5 animation from Wolf. You
Woof
can find him on
Woof,
YouTube.
woof.
And he did all the motion capture and got someone else to do the voices, and so that's what that is. It's all jokes, and it
That's
made me really
perfect.
happy, and we need that in order to get through these episodes. And so
What is
even
Alright, I
the
though
clip
it
from?
I have
What is the
something to
original clip?
get off my chest.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. was it about that video? Because I'm sorry.
No.
sorry.
Why was everyone surprised that they announced season 2?
I don't know.
I was
Because,
surprised at the
like-
timing of it.
I guess the timing of it could be weird.
Yeah, I
but
guess. But like, who were there people that thought there wasn't going to be a season 2? I'm sure there
Probably.
were, but like,
Never
I
underestimate
treat
what's
every I only expect the season I'm given. Same thing with Loki. Okay, like because we didn't get one for Falcon Winter Soldier, we didn't get
the
one
Marvel
for
ones are
WandaVision.
fair because
I could
those are
see them
different.
doing a season 2 for Falcon Winter Soldier, but they're doing a movie for it instead. And
Loki is
Right.
unique though because they announced the season 2, and it's literally they had to stop filming for season 1 because of COVID, and so that's why they're doing 2 seasons. It was supposed to be 1 season of like a dozen episodes, not a 6-season 1 season. So like
Yeah,
that's
that
a
was
unique
surprising.
situation. It was supposed to be 1, but they're making it 2 because COVID.
and I think
well, yeah. So like, so when it comes to like this stuff, I don't know. I just didn't. I expected they could do enough with 1 season to tell the story they wanted to, but I also saw that there's obviously potential for them to do more with it. So I saw it either way.
Yeah, I thought, and when it comes to animation, I had no question that this was going to be like multiple
Right.
seasons. You know, when it comes to the live action, like Jack's right, it was totally different. Like I wasn't expecting WandaVision season 2. I wasn't expecting.
Well, I saw Marvel's plan, and I was like, well, from when we were watching it, and I was like, okay, these are basically just serving as movies, longer form, because it's not 2.5 hours or whatever. It's whatever, like however long they were. But with Star Wars, each, Resistance was 2 seasons, but it was still 2 seasons. Like maybe Bad Batch will be 2 seasons. I don't know how far they could go with it, but I was excited because I think Jamie pointed out to me like, oh, it's news, or like, I forget what you said, but it made me realize we got concrete Star Wars news from Star Wars. That never happens,
That's the funniest thing
That's
to me is
sad,
that
but-
you're like, wow, we got Star Wars news from Star Wars.
Right. Like we still don't even know
It's
the
true.
dates of Kenobi or Andor, or like we're in the unknown regions. We don't know. We know Boba Fett's in December. I don't know. Do we know the day? But like,
No.
Try looking forward to the No Way Home trailer. Like, sorry,
it's not gonna
normalizing things, but it's just
at least you know the day when the movie's coming out. I mean, trailers are one
That's
thing,
true.
but at least knowing when stuff is coming it's nice to know.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing is this is a time I think that Star Wars gets their timing so weird with announcements and
They really are.
releases.
They're
I
terrible
can talk
with
about
it.
that for forever.
Terrible with communication.
Knowing
The
going
sequels
into
were
the
pretty good for a
finale, part 1 and 2, that there will be a season 2 just makes me feel better. If like, and I'll
Yeah.
answer that in a second.
Okay.
Knowing that all I could think of was, this is a stupid reference, but this is like how it went through my brain when they announced that season that this was going to happen like this. I'm like, okay, so they're probably either going to drop a huge cliffhanger on us, or they're going to wrap it up nicely enough where they can be like, okay, this is how it is. All I could think of was that like the end of Walking Dead season 5, whenever Negan showed up with like the lineup, they ended the season on the lineup and we didn't know who was going to die. The worst cliffhanger. That was the worst like 4 months of my life.
It generated
Not
buzz
even-
though. They did a good job.
The fandom was in ashes because everyone was like just like so distraught over it, and so then it came about, and then it happened in the first like 5 minutes of like what ended up happening, and it was good, but like and then the show fell to crap. So like, and I haven't watched it since, and so like we knew there was going to be another season because it was like the highest caliber show at the time, but like with this, knowing confidently going into it that the way that this is going to end this season, we're getting another one, just feels good. Like I thought they were going to drop it at the end of like the last episode. Sorry, not last week's, but the end of finale part 2. I thought they were going to like drop it at the end, like they announced.
The Bad Batch will return in 2020.
The book of Bad
too.
Batch.
Yeah.
2022.
So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
I like Brent's take here. I think Dylan mentioned earlier, and he wasn't criticizing. He was just kind of pointing out what people have said, and it's fair. But the people that have been like, oh, there's been some slow episodes or lighthearted episodes. Like, have you guys watched the other shows? Like,
yeah.
I even wasn't like, we're so used to binging these shows too. Like, I watched Rebels after it was fully out, and pretty much for Clone Wars we did too. And we were lucky to watch like 5-6 episodes a night or whatever we wanted. And they were lighthearted episodes, but yeah.
We're genuinely in a different era of consuming these shows. And I think that everyone needs to take that into account. That the way that we digest and consume, then digest these shows is going to be totally different. And like, I'm sorry for going off on The Walking Dead, guys, but if you scroll back enough on my Instagram, you can see how that used to be my favorite thing. I still like to appreciate it. Loved the comics, loved the early half of the show. Season 3 was the best season, but we're not talking about that today. like I don't remember what I was talking about now, but yeah, the way we consume shows, like it's always going to be different. And I love that Star Wars is releasing shows weekly like this and not doing one drop and it's everything. Because
I do appreciate it. I thought about
just
that
affects
today.
The way that you think about it, like they announced today, Stranger Things season 4, 5,
Yep, 4.
4.
is
2022.
coming out next year.
I'm guessing. By the
So
way,
exciting. Little clips.
I'm guessing. How do I say this? Not midnight, but New Year's Day. I think New Year's Day is when it's coming
Holy
out
crap.
because
Well,
the
yeah.
clock is at midnight, and there's the clock, and they always do holiday releases. So 3 a.m. for us on the East Coast.
I was thinking holiday 2022 is the release
maybe.
date.
Maybe. Who knows?
You know,
well,
a year out,
regardless,
'cause I know it's
I like
Stranger
mine
Things-
better, but maybe
I know I like yours
Stranger
better.
Things-
sooner.
Feel confident.
Stranger Things drops their entire season all at once,
Mm.
and that is a show that like I like straight up like need to take a break like halfway through because I'm like, oh, this is getting like really heavy sometimes. But like I'm the way we consume shows is everybody needs to scale it back and just like take time to like digest the things. And I'm glad that like the Bad Batch has given us this, but at the same time, we all gotta chill because it's just animation.
Yeah.
Right, and I've enjoyed the
HBO
lighthearted
Max.
episode. It's fun.
Well, no, but like the throwing it all at once, like HBO Max, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, they all do this with their shows where they release it week to week, not only to maintain subscribers, but also like
Apple
it just
TV's
like,
doing it now too, right?
It creates,
Ted
yeah,
Lasso.
yeah. Oh,
Ted Lasso is a weekly release?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
This season 2
that's
it
something I
is.
gotta watch because
Oh,
it's so
dude,
it's just so
Ted
good.
Lasso season 1. I'm just getting into it.
I still
Huge
need to watch
fan.
it.
I'm like
Jamie,
dying
how-
to
wholesome.
watch it.
Anyway,
Oh,
Did
keep
you
on,
check?
Jack.
just because like Jim, you brought up something that I think about so much, and it also comes up a lot with the Bo Burnham's Inside, which I just watched, and is also really high up in my brain. But the biggest thing for me is that when Stranger Things comes out, you got to throw everything to the side and be like, no, sorry, canceling all my plans. I got to get this watched before it gets spoiled.
We canceled
before
July 4th.
and before it's gone from the public discourse, because with those shows, everything happens at once. You have no chance to like talk about those moment to moments in each episode that are so great as well as the whole thing. Most of the time you end up talking about the finale with everybody because that's what was the most exciting after all.
Yeah.
You're right.
Exactly.
I wish that they like did release Stranger Things as like episode to episode because you could
That'd be so
really
much better.
appreciate it like more. Because like I love that show. It is up there as like one of my like all-time favorites, and it's
Me too.
man.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And like Kevin mentions we wouldn't be doing this we wouldn't have Marauders live every week, at least in this
Exactly.
fashion.
Yeah.
So it's fun to
Exactly.
break it down weekly. I mean, they're releasing Visions all at once, which is kind
weird.
of understandable
Yeah.
because there's some that'll probably be like 3 minutes, right? But
Yes.
I wish they would
They're
kind
all
of
not,
release
like-
them in chunks so we could make it last till Book of Boba or something. But
I'm glad the what if stuff is also going to be weekly because I'm looking forward to really chomping into
Yeah,
those. each time.
Yeah, it's funny,
looking
I'm not-
forward to that a
I'm probably not
lot.
even going to watch those.
Oh, that they look so good. The animation style looks awesome. I
None of
love
it looks very interesting. to
Whatever
me.
happens, I'm gonna digest that
I
Captain
don't know,
Carter
Marvel
one.
Zombies,
Like
man.
it's the only
yeah,
thing.
I don't
Captain
care
Carter
about-
looks
I
sweet.
don't care about Captain
Peggy
Carter.
Carter
Captain
is
Carter
my
does look
OG.
fun.
Spider-Man with
like,
the cape. I don't care.
Captain Carter's or Peggy
Did I
Carter's
say
Oh,
great.
anything about Spider-Man
boo
and the
on you.
cape? No, I said
Well,
Captain Carter and Peggy Carter
Spider-Man
and
is
Bucky
my
Barnes
main
and the
guy.
Howling Commandos. Like, excuse me. Anytime I can get that
And Bucky was
content,
there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Eh.
So was little Steve.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Like, guys,
Oh, is that already next week?
I think
Yeah,
so.
that's next
Yeah.
next
Oh, cool.
Wednesday, the 11th.
Ah,
I'm looking
Anyway,
forward to it.
let's reel it back. What's going on
I'm
with the Bad
looking
Batch?
forward to this.
I'm still stuck on what's going to happen next week. I know we kind of talked about that, but I don't know. I think
Ram-
they
Rampart dies in
teased
his sleep.
the Kiner brothers teased earlier the year that something heartbreaking happens. I mean, they always say that, but like something heartbreaking happens when they're doing the score, like it made them cry or something. But who knows what that means? I mean, we know Rex doesn't die. We know Gregor doesn't die. That's about it.
Well,
right?
we also know the entire batch isn't going to die because they're getting a season 2.
Well, yeah, of course. But
Should
like,
One
should've
of
waited.
them could die, but I
know.
doubt it.
I don't see it.
really doubt it.
That would've
I
been
don't
this
see it
week,
happening
Probably
anymore.
Crosshair.
And oh my god, if they
Yeah, I
did
doubt
all
it.
this work to bring Crosshair back just to kill him off next week, I'm gonna be mad. I mean, I'm gonna be mad if they kill Crosshair off in general before he gets to do like his full redemption, because I really just want one character in Star Wars to redeem himself and get to make amends for it. Yeah,
I think that
I could have gone
You
either
would've
way,
loved
but
it.
I'm happy with what happened.
Yeah,
But
same.
you're right.
Omega is gonna get taken.
Again?
No,
Donkey
no,
says, not donkeys. No, but
Too
really,
far,
I
too
think that
far.
she is because, like, think about it. When they're all assembled in like the training space, and the one trooper goes to like find where Omega is. I love how Crosshair straight up just like, Wrecker, you're terrible at lying. I love how he like sneaks that in there, and it's just like, oh, there he is. There's those good jokes, or those sly comments. But like Hunter, the moment that trooper finds Omega, Crosshair orders that trooper to send her on a transport off world. He has zero interest in like having her like join with whatever they're doing. He wants to get her out of there. And so like I feel like there are still other plans for Omega, because she is like still like really in demand.
Yeah, I mean,
and we
Nala
still
had
like, don't know
something
what.
for
So
her.
I think that would be like the biggest cliffhanger. To take her away, and then it's just the five dudes, and they're like, "Oh no, our
That's
child
what
is
season 2
gone."
is called, the 5 dudes.
We don't want that to happen.
Yeah, because
like,
it hasn't really been resolved. As you
True.
and Millie just kind of said there in the comments, but that's interesting. I mean, I don't think Omega would get taken twice technically 3 times, because Fennec took her the first time. They got her back immediately, but I don't know.
she's barely
but
gone.
it is still an issue that hasn't been solved
They're gonna
for.
kidnap Wrecker now.
They're gonna kidnap Wrecker. Yeah, there you go.
That's gonna be heartbreaking.
I'd like to see him try.
Wrecker. I mean, the Bad Batch all eventually probably die. Like whenever the show wraps up, eventually.
Everybody's gonna die, AJ. I don't want to be reminded of that.
No, I know, but we don't see
Just
them
going off
later.
the
I don't know
nihilist
where
out
they
of
would
nowhere.
fit in, unless they all just move in with like Cut Locane somewhere and just live happily ever after. But
They could.
I'd be down
they
for
could
that.
They could settle down on a planet.
You know where
That's
they
the
could settle
space
down.
taters.
Go on. There it is.
I wasn't
the
gonna pull a
worst.
video for that, but I need to get just the
realized
video of
what
the original.
answer was
Omega,
way too late.
Omega's not going to die. So even
No.
if you think all the other Bad Batch are going to die, Omega's got to be out there somewhere during the original trilogy. It's like the Ahsoka problem all over again. Where's Ahsoka during the original trilogy? Where's she? Where's Omega during all of this other stuff? So I think we're.
I
Gonna
think that they could easily like
Glad to
work
be here,
that in.
Rural Farm Boy.
I think that also, unfortunately, if the rest of the batch or the majority of them was gone at that point for the original trilogy, that it would make more sense. Like they're all not going to survive through it, because then it would be a bigger question. Be like, oh, we have this group of like these 5 like really awesome commandos, and why are they helping? So like, but one person and like one of them would probably make sense going forward through the original trilogy to just like lay low. So like, I'd like to think that eventually.
We could take other rebel characters from the background and make them the Bad Batch, like they did with Rex and Nick Sant.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like maybe they could. I mean, like maybe they really could, and they could just be like doing like other tasks with like other rebel cells. Because I love how Rebels incorporated all of that, of how they were building up to everything and how they were drawn into like the broader rebellion, and it made sense that like they weren't in like the main story. But I don't know. I feel like it could go any way, guys. It could go any way, and I don't want any of them to die. I want Tech to have a panic attack next week, but
God.
I don't want any of them to die.
I don't either.
So
That's good.
Well, I don't either, but I mean, death is good in stories, though. As much as it's good to feel the emotions. It means they're doing a good job telling the story.
Not killing them off and having them work through it. Okay,
Not right away. I mean,
having them work through their problems.
Jamie, how long did it take you to build?
each other?
How long did it take you to work through your problems and build the Havoc Marauder?
Oh, geez, I didn't answer.
know.
So the stream was about like 2 hours in the first place, and then it took like another hour after that. So like I don't know, 3.5 maybe. I had to like rebuild the wings a couple times because I put a piece on backwards, and yeah.
Hate that. You find out like 3
Tech
layers
would've-
deep, and you're like,
Tech would have yelled at you.
He was. Do you want to know the funniest part? So like look at this.
Oh,
this
there he is.
there he is. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Hang on. I gotta show you the other side because most of them are double-sided. Hang on. They took off his goggles.
It looks like Tarkin there.
And
Young
he just
Tarkin.
has like the eyebrow. Like, what is going on?
Like, how
Oh, I thought
often
he was
do we
missing
see
an
him
eyebrow,
without
but he's doing that.
Oh, he's
the
just
goggles?
like,
Do we ever see him
Huh?
without the goggles?
We haven't
hasn't-
seen him.
He hasn't taken
with
them
that.
off yet. That's why I want him to have a mental breakdown. So he like
What's
takes off
Hunter's
his
look like?
goggles and he's like,
Glasses
um,
representation.
not
Yep,
ready.
there you go.
No.
And then
I'm
curious with the
feeling
helmet
character
as
will show
well.
up. Yeah, what do we think?
Looks so good.
Star Wars is famous, I guess, now for like a big character, like a character showing up in like a finale, I guess.
I think it's gonna be Boba.
And by famous, I mean it's happened like once. But yeah, I think it'll be Boba too. I'm on the Boba train. But
Tech looks like Ego.
I'm still skeptical of Boba.
oh yeah,
AJ, my
Yeah, I'm
Ego's
skeptical, but
right in front of you, actually. The Ghostbusters, the Ecto 1 should be right over there.
I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
One
I have
second.
to compare. Not that I have the Ecto 1 ready to go. Fun fact, guys, Lego wise, there's a big like collector Ecto 1 coming out for the new movie. It's like a huge one, and I didn't realize it was for the new movie, but like, yeah. All right,
Looks
we're
more
gonna
like who?
compare now.
What
I
did he
guess
say?
looks like Ray. So AJ
Or
just
no.
grabbed. This is my mini
This is
fig, the
Venkman.
tech one.
That's
yeah,
Venkman.
Oh,
that's
didn't
Venkman.
someone
That's how
didn't
you
someone
go.
also make the
But without the
that
goggles, it
meme
looks
video
like-
that we just showed from the one from the British
Yeah.
like variety show? I saw someone did that with Legos.
I love that.
I'm sorry, Jack,
the video. Yeah, I reshared
Yeah.
that also because yeah, someone already like took the audio and had them all like dancing.
Too good.
Oh god,
The internet has unleashed so many unholy things on us.
yes they have.
It really has.
Was it worth it?
But yeah,
What did it
to-
cost?
to go back next week? I think that they're gonna
I love
call
how we've
Rex.
covered next week like 4 times because I'm
I
still so
know.
puzzled.
Somebody nuts. I think they're gonna call Rex and be like,
Anything could happen.
Rex, you're scared. Can you come pick us up? That's what's gonna happen first. And then he's gonna
they have a
come and
ride.
pick them up. And I don't know. How are they going to get to the ship? That's my biggest concern. First of all, if they lose that ship, I'm gonna go smash that in the driveway.
I mean,
Okay, and AJ's gonna record it.
live on the stream next week.
Oh no.
I just
cry.
picture like the scene
Oh,
from Office Space of just like the printer.
The printer, yeah.
I can hear it now.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's funny we're focusing on how they're going to get to the ship. Like, I think they could swim. Like, I know it's a rough current, but how far is it? Like, it's pretty
Yeah, I
far.
literally think
It is pretty far.
if AZ is
Well-
doing his thing, they can just hold on like a daisy
Can they
chain.
breathe with their helmets on?
No, that's not how it works. Have you seen every time Tech puts his head up, you can see like his entire neck? Not that I'm.
I was
looking.
so. Side story: I started replaying Battlefront 2 campaign last night, which is so good, and I forgot how good
Yeah.
it was.
Yes,
And
always.
Aiden launches herself in the beginning out of the airlock into space. So her helmet she can breathe in. I don't know if it'd be any different with the Bad Batch's helmets. I know it's different, totally different armor.
We know the stormtroopers have some kind of airtight seal too, just like regular stormtroopers too, because they step out on the thing in Rogue One with Vader while his cape's floating
Yeah.
in the space wind.
Right. That was true. But I don't know.
That's a good.
This all just
know.
goes to me
Question.
thinking if they can swim.
How
I don't
cool
even
would
know
it
if
be
it's
if
been
Bad
covered
Batch
with
was in Battlefront
stormtroopers.
3? Sorry, I was just thinking that. Go on, Jack.
No,
Echo's
I-
hand will
you
turn
know,
into like a raft. Go gadget
Put it
raft.
behind him, and it'll just be like just like
There you go.
rotating around. So I think
Oh,
that what's
yeah.
gonna happen. So one question I had actually. So once they go into the tubes, and Tech's like, oh, none of these schematics are like in the system, and then Omega's just like, oh, Nala Say leads to her place, and the entire tube system is just down here. So I get the impression that the clones had no idea that the tube system even exists.
Well, yeah.
Period.
Yeah, she said that
Any
no
of
one
it.
knew it was down there.
No,
Yeah,
no.
not even like the secret passage to like Nala Say's, but like the entire
Chamber of
system they don't
Secrets.
know about. So I
Yeah.
think what's gonna happen that for them to like leave, they'll probably find another way. Omega will lead them to like one of these hidden tube stations, and they'll just there they
Shoot.
go. Too bad.
I honestly, I don't rule out the Matt. What is the name of them? You know, you listed them as one of your
Oh,
favorite
No,
creatures.
they're called the.
It'll be a Lord of the Rings type thing with the eagles. Be like, oh, here we
Oh,
go,
the-
guys, and then they show up. So
I don't even remember. That's sad. I don't even remember them.
And
That
it
is
would be
sad.
the,
favorites.
if they do, it would be the second time that the batch rides them as well because when they
where
rescue
are they?
Echo-
We haven't seen them.
So yeah, that's good. Maybe they're running away because it's too much distraction.
I'll
Um,
watch.
A was the I was.
I was.
also known
I
as
was
AI.
AI. AI. I thought that was
A
an L.
was.
Sorry.
Yeah, they ride the Kierbacks rescuing Echo to like leave because like Tech
Right.
records the noise and he attracts them back and whatnot.
That was like the name
Um,
of the episode, wasn't it?
Yep, on the
And
wings
it was like
of Kierdak.
15 minutes long.
It's
Yeah.
a good episode.
Ten.
Rescue him.
Good arc. Yeah.
Great arc. The Bad Batch arc. Ooh, top tier.
It was so good that they made a show out of it.
so good. The show. I can't believe
So-
it.
I was just gonna say I ran out of things to talk about for now.
Yeah.
We went pretty
past-
long here, guys. I want to keep going. I mean, I could do this all day.
I know, but I got a pizza calling my name.
Pizza.
Oh, you still got pizza?
You said
Without-
that you said there wasn't any pizza.
No, there's no pizza
You said
get
there was no
together,
pizza.
but there's still pizza. It's always pizza.
That's fair.
Okay. Let me see. Last note.
I want pizza. I can't wait to.
Excuse me. I didn't say this. As I'm just like, I didn't approve that.
That's true.
Okay, I think at the end of the day, I think that another last bit to mention is I mentioned earlier, Tech seeks Hunter's approval in decisions. At the very end, when Hunter decides that Crosshair's coming with them, he looks at Omega, and Omega's like, she just nods, like, yeah, I'm bringing him along, and it's like Hunter seeked out her approval, which is interesting.
Yeah, Hunter finally stops being a dink breath and finally does something,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
good.
The one thing that I didn't like from this episode was that I thought that the troopers that were with Crosshair in the standoff scene, I felt like, considering they were already suspicious of Crosshair, that it was unlikely that they wouldn't have gotten the drop on Crosshair, given there were so many of them. I don't care how good a shot Crosshair
Right.
is. He had
Wait, so
they had so many opportunities, and they knew what was happening.
that was the elite squad, right? Are they
Yeah,
just
they're
gone
gone.
now?
Yep, they're dead.
Yeah, they're
Except
dead.
for one.
They made
Except for that
figures
one.
out of them.
He's dead, Jim.
All right.
There's
Except
one.
for one.
There's one left.
We even saw
Yeah.
them without helmets for a little bit. Interesting.
I think that one of
Yeah.
the big things as well is the Empire is always giving multiple plans, and like the Republic did this as well. They would give multiple plans of when you get there, do this. Except you people come here, we're going to tell you something extra that we want you to do. And so like Rampart gave them extra orders, and Crosshair had his own orders, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. He's just going to murder his entire crew.
Yeah, I mean, like Rampart said, like, I don't honestly care what happens to them. Either it works out or I'm going to kill them all anyway. So whatever, do your thing. So
And I think
they
that-
weren't too worried, but those troopers, I feel like they should have just tried harder.
That will get through to Crosshair, I think. That like Rampart just said, "Hey, screw you. Your plan failed, and see ya. I don't want to talk to you ever anymore. I don't
mean,
know. I don't want to
clear,
see
like,
you."
Rampart literally says all the time, like, I don't like the clones, and all this is there. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know if Crosshair thought he was like exempt or something because he was following the orders blindly, but it's probably what he did think.
Oh, did they leave Crosshair's helmet behind?
I think they did. I need to rewatch
And
it.
Michael
I loved-
just finished making it.
I loved the little detail. Oh yeah, he did. Excuse us.
Vroom, vroom.
I loved the little detail of Hunter just taking off Crosshair's backpack and wearing it and running out with like the rifle. That's just like small things. And then I love also, sorry, not to deep dive into the costume thing. But in the very
Please.
like first scene when Hunter is captive against the door, Crosshair walks in and Crosshair has Hunter's blaster and his knife on his belt. And I was just like, oh, there it is. Look at
Yeah,
that.
and he tries to use it against him during the fight.
Yep. And then
And
Hunter's
Hunter
like,
has to take
nope.
it back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is
Anelio
right.
we mentioned this earlier, but I had these ready to go, and they gutted us too much that we didn't want to look at
Gutted
them again.
us.
Boom.
Oh.
It was sad.
Yeah.
What a beautiful episode, though. I mean, it was the same director as I don't know his name. I
Writer.
apologize.
People
Author,
knock
writer.
this show for so many things, but to me, like,
Which is
the
hilarious.
cinematography and the visual language of everything being told is just so satisfying. Like, you see all these, like I said earlier, I just want to like read it because it is so striking. Like, I'm not used to seeing Camino empty, and it's not
Right.
cool. It's
Yeah.
very unsettling, and I don't like it.
Unsettling us in Star Wars is great, though. Like,
Oh, I love it. I
'cause
do
they've
love it, but
a lot
like,
of things in Star Wars, and
in
it's
the
nice to be a little unsettled. It's nice.
We need that discomfort.
definitely.
I think that to echo in the chat, we hope that they find Crosshair's armor. They do have his like rifle kit and probably a few other like miscellaneous things like still in the ship.
Oh no,
So like we'll
Landry
see.
can't tell his story.
Oh, they can't go back to Camino.
Our friend John made this armor
What? No,
of
okay, look,
kicks.
but-
Sorry, it just hit me because talking about
wait.
armor laying around.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
No.
If you guys are confused, the Sidon Athano comic over here, Kix is part of his crew, and we did an interview with the
Yeah.
author, and he mentioned because Kix has phase 1 clone armor in there,
Mhm.
and he's like, oh, I kind of have a backstory where Kix goes back to Kamino in some venture with the gang and whatnot, and he finds phase 1
Devastating.
armor.
Holy crap!
Guess what? Apocalypse Camino. It's
He's good,
gonna be
like,
there.
Geonosis.
It's gonna be a
True.
stash, or
Nah.
or the rate that they are finding all these stashes of old separatist strongholds. There's definitely old abandoned Republic strongholds. You know, like an Axis and like whatnot. So like you never.
No, he
You never
said
know.
Camino, and I liked Camino.
And
I
there
like
could
Camino.
be
I'm gonna
they
message him.
could do a
about it.
Titanic style scuba adventure underwater to
Hey,
get
they
it.
made-
It's like in a crate. Or
They made the
something.
concept art for Force Awakens / sequel trilogy of them going underwater for the Death Star. So Jamie's
That's
thing's
true.
not far off. If anyone wants to go to Camino in the future in Star Wars,
And there was like a
Camino!
wasn't
It's
there an
gonna
abandoned
happen.
stormtrooper?
we're not
armory
ready,
barracks
Fanboy. We're not ready. No
in
one's
that
ready.
place?
Yeah, I think that
I am. Give it to me.
I'm
I
sad.
think
I'm
that-
ready, but
Band-Aid
I'm
off.
sad ready.
our favorite boy Kix. I think that he could still find his armor on Camino. He will find it, underwater and like everything out, because they'll go back, because that'll probably come up for like Sainan and Thano and the crew. Be like, oh, let's go back to Camino, see like what we could like pillage and plunder because we're pirates, and like they go, and because maybe they know something we don't, like they know that Camino like hasn't like been accessed in like years, and they're like, oh, that must be like a good spot to find some stuff, and they go, and there they go.
Indiana Kicks and the fate of Camino. Atlantis.
Camino. No, what is the city called?
Tapoka City.
Tapoka.
City.
There we go. That sounds
Tapioca?
better.
Fate of Tapoka.
Tapioca City. Swoop City.
That's
All right,
always
we're
what I
losing
thought
our
it was.
minds here. We gotta.
We
All
are.
right, I think we're.
We gotta wrap
done.
this up.
I'll play us off with the video, I guess, and then you can end it once it ends.
Okay. Sure.
Oh no.
It's too fast. How could you even tell what's on?
I can tell. Too late. I'm in the 40s. Gotta go around the horn. Faster.
This is AJ
Best one.
every night, every single.
That's me looking
night.
through all the videos. Where are they?
That's
Where's
true, though.
Tamara? Is he okay?
All right. I'm with Jack there. So we're gonna we're gonna go.
We're really losing our minds now.
Pizza
This is
time.
wild.
Wow. It's time. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
everyone.
Thanks
Thank
again.
you. Have a good
Next
weekend.
week.
Bye.
One
Good
more.
night.
One more.
One more.
One more.